And coming here live from New Britain, here on the Solo Man Islands. We are here with the 49th edition of Grand Platypus Open, number 49 on this wonderful Saturday. I am, of course, your host, Yaku of the Zaku, and with me today, for some reason, we have El Mago Voodoo, que se cuelga con los lagartos como Kerwin. Light_VIP. How we doing, Light?
What's up, Yaku? I will remind you to check your mic just to
That's why I had the extended because I was like, oh, I should check my mic moves real quick.
What's up, Yaku? We are here. We are live with Grand Platypus Open, and mate, you're right. I'm usually not here for the beginning, at least, but things are a little bit different here today, and mate, I can't wait. I just love me some SEA-OCE StarCraft.
Nor I. No, wait, so do I. But apparently not Upley.
Not yet. Oh.
Yeah, not yet. Anyway,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, this is great. This is great. We have an admin here who I don't think it's a ref, actually. So I can actually clear this up with them.
Yep. I'm not a ref.
Well. Yeah, for just a little bit of confusion going on here as to, what servers to do. Usually if, a consensus hasn't been reached, then, we will generally step in and say, yep, we will alternate the servers.
I can't speak. I'm an observer. I can't let them know. Hey, these are our rules. This isn't ESL Open Cup. Dare.
Dare Cup.
Dare Cup, if you will. But
yeah, it's usually in bottles. But But now that has been cleared up, we are now here on Submarine. Ellie, we're starting things off on Submarine. Oh right, because of vetoes. I'm used to casting you on 10 minutes of vetoes. But anyway, here in the top left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner, we have the purple Protoss player. Going to be representing M for Mindfreak as well as M for Melbourne. He is not going to be playing Terran, Pez.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Submarine LE, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team GTA. And also going for a very early pool, we have Upley.
He just wants to get this odd server game out of here.
Oh boy, yep.
I don't care if this works or not. Just get me on the SIG server.
God damn it, Upley. So yeah, obviously there's our Die Weekly, which is Singapore, AU Singapore for best of threes. Here with GPO, we are Australia, Singapore, Australia. Yeah. So things are a little bit different.
Yeah, we like to have a nice little, mix of what we alternate here. If Audi ever changes to Oz, SG, Oz, then we will switch to SG, Oz, SG. I don't write the rules, but that's just how it works.
Yeah, and I also don't stand behind anything that Yaku says. Same with the Cranky Ducklings, so take all that with a bag of salt.
I mean, just by saying it, doesn't that give you subliminal? Like, you just sort of think, that's a good idea. Right? You're considering it now.
So we had a 12 point opening by Upley. What's important is that, of course, Pez did go for a worker scout. He did see the early pool timing. He just croned out his zealous mate, made that wall.
That he did, taking it very seriously as well. Sent actually a couple of probes there to, aid in a bit of a buffer and also try to make that wall solid if he needed to. Being a little bit ambitious here with the Zealots, but now that the Adepts are out, I don't think Pez should have any bother with this 12 pool.
Yeah. Again, he did kind of needlessly lose those two Zealots, but at the same time, they're Zealots. What were they going to do anyway? It's not like they're going to have a pivotal role here, unless Pez went for some kind of charge lot timing or something crazy like that.
Which he always has the option to do now that he's, deflected the initial harassment coming down here from Upley. He's got a lot of options available to him now. Meanwhile, Upley gonna be scrambling to get his macro back in order.
Yeah, he does have a lot to catch up on, especially because he did start off with that 12 full, and we already see a couple of workers going down. Oh,
this is a pretty nice surround here with the workers for Upley. Could have lost a lot more, but in the end, only losing 4. So all things considered, we actually have both players on decently, what's the word I'm thinking of here, like even footing.
Yeah, definitely. Both players are kind of around the same worker counts, and even though Upley didn't have the best economic opener, he is kind of trying to cut corners as best he can to catch up. The biggest one being he isn't going for Ling speed, so he's just skipping that completely, going straight into roaches.
Indeed, he is Upley, a bit more of a roach boy here, and I mean that's probably a pretty good reaction here, isn't it? Once you see that my opponent's going a little bit more adept heavy. But when I say a little bit more, I do mean just a little bit, because Pez actually hasn't he hasn't committed to any tech yet.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little bit surprised by his opening. Like, he's done a really good job at just harassing with these 2 adepts consistently, and also scouting with them as well. Pez, he was able to spot the Roach Warren. He has confirmed this entire time that Upley is still on 2 bases, and as a result, he hasn't been too greedy. He hasn't gone for a Stargate, he hasn't gone for a Twilight Council. He's, just like slowly working up that immortal count.
Yeah, at this point, Pez is probably looking to build into more of a Sentry Immortal kind of push. Oh, actually, might be going for a bit of Immortal drops here.
Oh, yeah. It looks like he's at least waiting for that War Prism to dive out with that Immortal, and honestly, I think he can do quite well with it. Like, there's 4 queens. Oh my god, but they are marching across the map.
Yeah, making their way slowly there. Upley, he does not want to deal with server.
Not at all. The thing is that, like, Pez should be aware of all of this. Like, okay, well, he confirms the queens are in the middle of the map, which is a massive tell. But before that, he knew his opponent was still on 2 bases. He knew there was no lair. He knew there was minimal drones. So Upley's just going all in right now.
He is. With that, Pez, he abandons his initial plans, keeps his Warp Prism in this center map just so he has more of an ability to micro here. And I don't see these roaches doing too much unless Pez, really slips up. Has been a misclick somewhere. Yeah,
and Pez isn't really known to do that sort of thing. Already, forces one of the roaches turned into a Ravager as well. It gets sniped already, and that's so crucial. Like, there are barely any roaches here. Everything's so valuable for Upley.
That they really are, especially these Ravagers here. But Pez, I mean, he's playing with fire just a tad. Making sure that he can get as much value out of his units before he's forced to lift them and take them out of the fight. Which is a massive risk being taken. Does so I should keep the Immortals alive. Ravager's not getting too much done here with the Corrosive Vials.
Yeah, that was kind of scary there with that Immortal, but Pez did keep it alive. Nice force fields, able to kill 2, snipe 2 Ravagers, and now there are only 2 remaining, and
there we go, GG's called.
GG is called. Lag is insane. And Pez takes game 1.
That he does. That is best of 3 series.
Oh, okay. And unfortunately, it does look like Upley is a little bit upset about the lag, and you know what? He's like, you know what, Pez, he can take it. He can take the W. I'm done.
Well, even if he's gonna play on the Singapore server.
Yeah. He's just not confident in his ability against All Mate Pez.
All Mate. Oh well then. So it looks like we are gonna have a quick victory here coming down from Pez. Will be advancing to round number 3, the semi-finals, if you will. Oh, well, I guess you could call it the quarterfinals. Yeah, I mean, technically it's the quarterfinals, because even though we do have a double elimination bracket today, a little bit unfortunately, it is still technically 4 matches in the round 3.
Yeah, definitely. So we already have our first player advancing through. Meanwhile, I do want to quickly have a look. I was wondering, okay, so Bistork, he did show up. I was a little bit I was a little bit concerned that maybe he wouldn't, and MeomaikA would get the walkover. But
why is that?
Because he wasn't here at the beginning of the tournament, but Bistork did show up, so he is currently in game with MeomaikA. And if we can, maybe we can try and slip into at least game 2 there.
Yeah, that would be a very interesting PvZ. I feel like that is really the clash of... I wouldn't call it the clash of titans here, but it is a clash of two players of different races that have a similar style. So I guess, yeah, kind of like titans.
Yeah, exactly. We've had so many of these Bistork versus MeomaikA matches in the past, and yeah, that's I would imagine that's most likely gonna lead into Go Joey. I'm curious to see how a player like Sephiron is going to do, because he has also, you know, kind of like Starduck, has also reached the edges of GM. And I'm not too sure.
Starduck's actually GM. What do you mean?
Yeah. As in, like, Sephiron is also GM. Like that.
When you say like reach the edges of GM, I'm like, what?
Yeah, as in
they actually reached GM.
Yeah.
Well, at least Starduck. I knew that Starduck actually reached GM.
Yeah. So like Starduck, Sephiron, he's there. He is also GM. So I'm curious to see how he's going to do against some of these other more established pros.
Yeah, and if you say anything like Starduck, or if they're anything like Starduck, you can probably take a couple of games, maybe even take a series. I know that. You know, last week in particular, MeomaikA versus Starduck was actually really close.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Bistork is out of game. And it's like quickly, you know, messages the players there. I would like to, you know, remind everyone here, if you were curious as to what happened last week in Starduck versus MeomaikA, or this week in Bistork versus MeomaikA, you too can get the replays available to you with just a quick little sub here on the Cranky Ducklings channel. Subscribers, of course, get access to replay packs from GPO, as well as Sentimental Latino, as well as Battle of the Americas, and many more to come. I just enjoy the ASMR being thrown down here from Light.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. I was like, I should say something, and then I heard the typing. I'm like, oh, but I don't want to interrupt.
I'm sorry if my keyboard did interrupt. But yes, we have a fresh new series for us. I say fresh new series, mate. MeomaikA is up 0-1 in this best of 3 against Bistork.
Only one left for MeomaikA. 2 left here for Bistork. How's it gonna end up? Is MeomaikA gonna make ultras?
Are you insinuating that MeomaikA's gonna lose this game?
Yes.
God damn it. So of course MeomaikA, he is
that's just because I want the full series. So.
that's fair. Of course MeomaikA is the best Zerg player in all of Vietnam, and Bistork, even though he has been overshadowed by Go Joey, he has taken games and series off of MeomaikA in the past, notably involving ultras
versus immortals. I feel like you're not giving the full context there. Notably involving ultras versus immortals.
Yeah.
But even still, I mean, we can like say, we can meme that up quite a bit. Like, oh, why would you like make ultras versus immortals? I still do remember that Bistork, he had some very impressive immortal micro that game as well.
Oh yeah,
juggling with the Warp Prism.
I think it was that game where MeomaikA was like well ahead, but he just like couldn't break. Yeah, he couldn't break Bistork, and eventually MeomaikA traded off enough to just go into and max out with ultras. And
you say couldn't. He very well could, if he didn't make ultras. But anyways, that was a game in the past. We are now looking at a game in the present, where in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, starting all the way here in the top right-hand corner, we do in fact have the pink Protoss player, oxidizing, breathing, getting the lithium up. He is coming down from Hong Kong, currently teamless, although I assume he's still involved somewhat with ball pain. But currently teamless, we have Bistork.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player, the blue Zerg, representing himself as well as the clan Jiggly. It is MeomaikA.
I just noticed that he's back on the Jiggly clan tag. He wasn't for a while.
I think he left it just for DreamHack.
Because you can have that in DreamHack.
I think I want to say that's the reason, but you know what? Now that DreamHack's over, he's back on that Jiggly train.
Yeah, he's Jiggly once again. What we all needed.
Yeah. And I'm really curious to see how MeomaikA is going to play this out. I'm really curious, you know, what he has in store for us, especially because he started off kind of strangely. He did go for like a gas trick, you know, just to get that worker out a little bit faster.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's take a look at how many drones he commits to that gas, because he did go for the gas hatch, no, pool hatch gas. All these buildings, man. Which generally is not the most aggressive of Zerg builds, but this is MeomaikA. We'll see if he actually has something planned with that.
Yeah. I think like this is just his go-to because it does get lings out at a decent time. So in case there is like any kind of aggression or like cannon rush or anything like that, MeomaikA will already have lings to deal with it. We're even going across the map and forces the gateway down.
Yeah, does he force the gateway down though? Because I feel like Bistork. Oh yeah, that was forced.
Yeah, I feel like
Bistork placed it down a little early.
I was just really shocked by this wall, or the lack of wall, by Bistork. But like it worked out anyway. It's just a weird response because Bistork saw the pool opening, and then he threw down. Well, yeah. Well, then he didn't wall off. Mate, I can't remember the last time I casted Bistork. Oh my god.
I mean, it was a while ago, somewhat.
Hey, we got a lair.
We do, in fact, have a lair coming down from MeomaikA. A very quick lair coming down. For any third base, MeomaikA does not want to, does not want to tech that way. He is getting new nice carapace as well.
Yep.
What does this mean, Light?
What does that mean? Mate, we're going to see some dropper lords with that lair is what we're going to be seeing. And I'm curious to see what exactly the play is. Is he going to pick up all the queens and just go with the dropper lords and like a massive link flood? It looks like that's going to be the play.
Well, we have seen MeomaikA do this in the past too, and working out really well. It's almost like a Protoss player dropping a sentry and force fielding a ramp. You know, he just gets those queens in to body block that ramp instead.
Yeah. It's gonna be amazing. We'll see how this is gonna go. As you said, like this isn't the first time MeomaikA has done something like this before. But the thing is that Bistork hasn't scouted this at all. He has no idea. Okay, never mind. Sorry, he did scout the early lair.
Yeah, he knows about the lair, but honestly not much else. I do like that he's getting more Void Rays coming out from this Stargate. Can give him a lot more opportunity to deal with those drop lords, but they need to be in position.
Yeah, I feel like this Void Ray is distracted. These Void Rays are distracted because maybe they think a Nidus is coming in, so he wants to deny the vision into the main base. But here we go, the Lings are gonna hit the front.
Yeah, indeed they are. Does this pull the Void Rays? So it actually does pull the Void Rays right into the Dropper Lord. Takes it out before too many queens can land. Only one of them in the end. MeomaikA completely shut down. That was interesting. He pulled the Void Rays towards his,
he did. He pulled the Void Rays towards the Dropper Lord. The Void Rays defended beautifully. Meanwhile, MeomaikA off of this, he droned up a little bit and then he immediately threw down a Nidus.
Yeah, needs some way of getting damage done here. Or even just a way to evacuate out.
Yeah, the problem is that the Nidus...
Really.
Yeah, it's like here in the natural and it does get spotted by the Void Rays and... Oh god, the Void Rays are looking to get a queen, and they will.
That they will indeed. They honestly don't have much... honestly don't have... do too much damage there, but the queen, I mean, it was A-moved for or move commanded, sorry, a little bit too long. Wasn't really able to chip away at any of those Void Rays. MeomaikA just going straight across the map.
Wait. Is he going Swarm Host? Is that
off 2 bases?
Is he going Nidus Swarm Hosts?
Off
like,
2 bases?
Like it's not Infestors, right? It's either Swarm Hosts off 2 bases or Infestors off 2 bases, right? It's one or the other.
You know, normally one might say Swarm Hosts off of Swarm Host Nidus, but I mean, MeomaikA doesn't have any AoE, and he does like his fungals.
He does in ZvT, I'll give you that. I do feel like the thing that makes the most sense, and I want to give credit to MeomaikA, is something like Swarm Host. Again, like you can get a lot of value, and as long as you keep them alive, like it doesn't matter if you have a low econ, like you're gonna get more and more over time. There we go, 5 Swarm Hosts on the way. The problem is that Swarm Hosts are not what you want to defend against Glaive Adepts.
Not at all. Locust don't do too much against these Glaives, and honestly, the GG is called. There we go. Bistork taking game number 2. We are getting that full best of 3 series.
GG. Oh god, this is why I love MeomaikA. Like, it did get shut down, but there was like so much potential there. The problem is that it felt like he was doing his own thing and kind of like not really paying attention.
He was doing.
Yeah, but like not really paying attention to what his opponent was doing, and because of that, something like Glaive Adepts just unscattered just shuts it all down, you know?
Yeah, MeomaikA was playing very active that game when, I mean, normally as a Zerg player, you want to be a bit more reactive than that.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's MeomaikA for you. He is one of those Zerg players one of those few Zerg players who really does want to take control early on in the game, wants to, you know, control the pace of the game.
Yeah, and normally he does, and to be fair, he kind of did in the beginning, but again, just because the queen drop really fell on its face, that kind of put him behind, and it made the follow-up a little bit more difficult to get into.
It definitely did, and honestly, I don't really foresee a way, like, assuming Bistork continued to play the way he did, I don't really see MeomaikA transitioning out of that.
Yeah, especially because like he cut a lot of workers to make that happen. Like I kind of like the Swarm Host like Nidus play. It's nice, but again, like you kind of need to get there, right? And without scouting your opponent, without seeing that, you know, we have a Twilight Council upgrading, we have all these gases, like Glaive Adepts are on the way, you know, you still have to respect that.
Absolutely do. And MeomaikA just did not. Well, we'll see if he does here on the Ace match, game number 3 on Lightshade.
Yeah.
I was hoping I timed that out well enough that we could jump in, but let me buy some time here. Let's see if this is gonna be the case here on Lightshade. LE, of course, standing for length extender. Let's see if he's able to win here. Who's gonna take that win on Lightshade? There we go, timed it perfectly.
Beautiful, beautifully done. Seamless, if you will, as we are getting into that ace match between these two insane players who kind of do their own thing. Again, like I was really baffled in that game number 2 with even Bistork with his wall at his natural, like his pseudo wall. It was crazy to see. I can't wait to see what these two players have in store for us.
What are they going to throw on the line here as we are in the ace match on Lightshade LE? I feel like I already explained it earlier. I shouldn't go into that. In the top left-hand corner map, swinging all the way in the top left-hand corner, the blue Zerg player coming out from Vietnam. He is currently the winningest player in GPO. Is he going to continue that on, or is Bistork going to knock him down to the lower bracket? Let's find out. He is the jiggly MeomaikA.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the pink Protoss player hailing from the land of Hong Kong, and representing himself, it is Bistork.
Like them here in the chat.
I saw the same thing. I wonder if Mio forgot that he's playing a Protoss. It's possible.
It's very likely.
Look. I know that sometimes we may try to understand MeomaikA, but the truth is that no one can understand MeomaikA, okay? We can We can only try and hope that we can shoot for the moon and land before the cat.
I mean, Solar, I think, has a good chance of understanding MeomaikA, but I don't remember where that's from. I just vaguely remember we talked about Solar and MeomaikA at some point.
I'm sure we did. I don't know when, but oh boy. Okay, so we're getting into this series. We're getting into this. Sorry, I say series. This is the final game, mate. This is it. We're tied up.
It is the final game. We're on the ace match. Unfortunately, didn't quite get to see what happened there in game number 1, but honestly, if I had to guess, probably something similar to game number 2.
Probably. As we have a decent amount of links here coming out from MeomaikA. Once again, he did go for that extractor trick earlier, to get a faster drone out, and he is moving out with 8 lings, which is a little bit surprising.
Yeah, that's quite the commitment coming from MeomaikA this early on.
Wow.
You just gotta know that he's gonna do more, or he wants to do more than just scouting Bistork.
Yeah, and what's surprising is that this probe saw everything. It doubled back and it saw all 8 lings for MeomaikA, and wow, MeomaikA kills the probe and then pulls back.
Yeah, pulls away to regroup, but we'll see if that's actually for him to regroup or if he's gonna completely back away from that. He is still gonna be, committed to scouting, but now that the 8 lings have been seen, what is that called? From eight no thing?
Yeah.
Mark? Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the trademark 8 lings is called. But yeah, now that it's scouted, I do not see MeomaikA committing too hard into that. He's just gonna start to drone up, get another base out. Now that he's kind of forced Bistork into this defensive position. Yeah,
definitely. I do like that. Once again, MeomaikA isn't stubborn and doesn't try to commit with these things because he made them. Instead, he's going to keep them in the center of the map to try and find some value later on.
Yeah, Bistork decides to move out with an adept or what have you. And then them lings, they're already in position to deal with that. What is a little worrisome is that MeomaikA has not gone in for a scout whatsoever. Not just in these lings, but, with Overlords or anything.
Yeah, it's a little bit concerning. To be fair, the first Overlord did go down to a Void Ray, so already MeomaikA knows that it was a Stargate opening. So he is already getting prepared for that. He is throwing down a couple of spores. He's got a decent amount of queens. I say that, he's got 1 on each base. He's got a 3rd. He's even spreading a little bit of creep.
What?
I know. I'm the player and I wouldn't have pointed it out, but for MeomaikA, I need to emphasize this point. Look at that. He's spreading it too.
Wow.
Do you think he's off his game?
MeomaikA does. No, I think MeomaikA just doesn't want to risk the Overlords now that he knows that the Void Rays are out.
Oh my god, and now we have 2 Void Rays.
He's just not stubborn.
Yeah, exactly. This is a little bit scary there. Two Void Rays against 2 queens is not what you want to be seeing. It looks like 1 queen will go down.
There we go, just like that. And again, Void Rays, they may not deal too much. A single Void Ray may not do too much damage against Queen, but when you have 2 of them stacked together, it does, that DPS does start to pile up. And Queens, they're not the best anti-air against Void Rays.
Yeah, queens are pretty good, but again, you need a decent amount of them. You need transfused energy as well to really work on that. And what's surprising is that we do have a very fast lair coming out from MeomaikA, and it was scattered by these Void Rays.
Is a very fast lair from MeomaikA surprising?
Well, the surprising part is that these 2 Void Rays managed to scout it.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I'm really curious to see what the lair is really for. We do have a lot of lings on the way.
I really see no Nidus coming out here from MeomaikA. I don't see any Numanite Carapace, and I feel like that's a good thing. I mean, MeomaikA, he's aware of the Void Race. Should not try to pull that Dropalord style that he did earlier on.
Yeah, I think what's crazy is that with the sheer amount of lings that's coming out on the side of MeomaikA, I think he's gonna be okay when it comes to defending against these adepts. I don't know if MeomaikA knew that this was coming and that's why he's going for this. I don't think that's the case, but it's gonna work out.
Yeah. He did not know that was coming. Let's be real, he didn't scout whatsoever. The Queen's a little bit far back, distracted with the Void Rays. Ling's got a beautiful surround though. This is the beauty of getting a 3rd base in this location as a Zerg player. You just have so much open area to play around with in your defense. Look at that. No roaches, purely Lingbane, and almost all the adepts have been taken out.
Yeah, it's not the cleanest, it's not the most efficient by any means, but you know what? It gets the job done. I say that, but another wave of adepts just warped in as well. The spine goes down, and there are lings on the way, but they are trickling in, and it looks like, ooh, he doesn't commit to the shade.
No, he does not. Did not want to get surrounded by this follow-up of lings. Lings coming in once again. The Queen's trying to get the Vorpism, but Bistork on top of it moves it out of position, far away from the creep. Now these Queens are in a lot of trouble. This is just enough adepts that can start chipping away at them.
Yeah, definitely. Luckily, there was enough transfuse to keep the majority of these Queens alive, and it looks like with all these things again, oh no, they commit.
Indeed they do, which is a little bit surprising considering the Lingbane were already in position there to intercept, but they are getting quite a bit done. At least when it comes to shaving off the link count. Meanwhile, the Queens have also... Did 2 Queens go down here? Yeah, they did.
They went down to the Adepts. Again, the energy ran out for Transfuse, so the Adepts were slowly able to chip away at those Queens. More Adepts are being warped in as well, and this is scary because the Queen count is getting lower and lower. Like the Ling Bane, it's starting to run out.
It very much is. Bistork just kind of teasing that Warpism there. It's just outside of range. The Adept count is starting to get lower once again. Both players really just throwing supply at one another, hoping that eventually one of them is gonna pop, but yeah, not gonna be the case here as of yet. Anyway, Bistork, I like that he's going around with that Warpism, trying to do a bit of multi-prong.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, like, it feels like MeomaikA's defense is on a knife's edge right now. Like, he's not losing any workers, which is great, but I don't think he can afford to because he's barely droned up. Like, oh my god, and he's trying his best to try and defend, but he was not in position for this warp in.
But I tell you what, like, the Baneling speed finished up.
It did, and now all the Baneling's gone.
Too much. It just meant that the Banelings can die even quicker. Even more drones are starting to go down. This is arguably the end of MeomaikA.
Yeah, exactly, because now MeomaikA's down to 32 workers. There's no mining whatsoever in the main base. The Adept count is getting higher and higher to the point where they can dive on top of some of these Queens, and again, they do not commit to the shade. Another Queen is going to fall.
There are a lot of Queens, so the Queen's not going to fall yet. Here, Light, now it will. I said now it will. There we go. Transfuse, it was good, but not good enough. These Queens are in such low energy. Only 5 of them remaining, and is that really enough here to deal with all of what Bistork's got? I don't think so.
We'll find out. Again, the Adepts are fighting with the Queens. There is still plenty of energy here to keep these Queens alive, to buy some time for the Lings to come in and reinforce, but oh my god, the feedback!
Oh my god. Really nice move coming out here from Bistork, getting the Templar Archives just for that. With this Archon, there should be enough beef here for Bistork as well, but we'll see how MeomaikA actually, is able to micro this.
What a goddamn big brain move by Bistork. Jesus Christ, he warped in the High Templar because he was aware that the Queen count was getting so high for MeomaikA, gets rid of all of their energy, and now, oh my god, the Archon actually goes down. Can MeomaikA hold here?
No, I feel like he focused too much on taking out that Archon. GG is called, and Bistork gonna be taking game number 3, knocking MeomaikA down to that lower bracket. Come on, phone. Gee, that was... I feel like that was just a game of tug-of-war towards the end there, at least.
That was beautiful. that was MeomaikA just barely holding on every single time. And then towards the end, he slowly crumbled because the Adepts, the more and more kept getting warped in. It was getting more difficult each time to deal with them more and more efficiently. As you saw, Baneling speed finished up, and the Banelings, the majority of them ran into a single line of Adepts. They weren't bunched up or anything, so they weren't trading efficiently at all. And I think that was probably where things really started to turn for the worst. Yeah,
that was absolutely the beginning of the end there. Funnily enough, when the Banelings actually roll in at just the right angle, it doesn't actually do too much damage. And I don't mean when you split up your army. No, I mean when you do have your army together, but they hit just that. It's like a triangle, right? They hit just at the point of the triangle, and they kind of burst to the edge of it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just, what's happening on stream right now? The feedback's coming in. Oh my god.
That's what I was looking at too. That's what I was waiting for. Bistork with the big brain, if the big ball energy plays.
I'm just like that move right then and there. Like that was so impressive. Like I've never seen that, to be honest. I've never seen like High Templars warped in offensively just to feed back queens.